questions. We really want to get to know more about you and your business. And okay, so first what we'll do is we'll start off with just you telling us who you are, what your business is, and what you do as an overall.
Okay, so I'm Gemma, and my little motto is I help Canadians celebrate life, achievement and adventure through turning their t-shirts, the sentimental ones that are kind of hanging in the closet that you no longer wear but you can't get rid of, and I turn them into memory quilts to return to my customers. So I make them for people all over Canada. So yeah, I've kind of got this mission to prevent as much textiles as possible from going to landfill, because that's most definitely a big problem right now with landfills, the amount of textile waste that's going to there. And, you know, everything takes, I think it's something, even the most economic friendly, like say, for example, cotton shirt that should decompose is still constructed using things like polyester threads, and they still can take like up to, I think it's 50 years to actually fully decompose.
Wow.
So I think so far I have set, I think the number's gone up a bit. I always say 10,000, but it's much more than that now. But we typically average around 10 blankets a week at the moment.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy. I'm just doing the math really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about 12,000 shirts now that we've stopped from going to the landfill. So
that's amazing. So
yeah,
you take recycled shirts or old shirts and you recycle them into new shirts,
blankets, but it's my cousin. I don't sell them just to random people. It's so, say for example you wanted one, you would go and get your own shirts, send them to me, I'd make it into a blanket and send it back to you.
Amazing.
There's a lot of people that are like, you know, avid concert goers, and they collection the shirts, or they run races and they've got running shirts or hockey jerseys, or they like going to the theatre, or like there's just so many different themes that I see with blankets, or traveling, or there's lots of different reasons why people would want them made. And you know, I know like for myself, I have a bunch of well, they're in a blanket now, but I had a bunch of shirts that I collected while running my short spurt of career of running. But yeah, I turned them into a shirt, and it's just such a, you know, every time I look at it, it's just such a nice feeling. Like it just brings back so many memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the same with like, because I make baby toddler ones too, and I've made one for out of my toddler's clothes, and like it's like a visual storybook book, like a board. We sit there every night and we'll go and say, oh mummy, what's this, and I'll say, oh, you know, grandma bought you that one, and we went to San Diego when we bought this one, and you know, this was the very first thing that I bought for you, and you know, it's just
that's
sit awesome. There and chat. And I find that a lot actually when my customers feedback, or when people come into the house, they'll start talking about the blankets and say, oh, where did you get that shirt from? Oh, I remember when you wore that one. And you know, and it's just such a conversational piece as well.
Absolutely. And it's so special, right? Because it has all your memories.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like a picture book, but out of clothes. It's fantastic.
Exactly. It's something, you know, you can actually feel and smell. Like, this sounds really odd, but I do make a lot of like quilts for people that have lost loved ones, and quite often it still has their smell as well. So like wrapping them up and having that kind of, you know, tactile thing, but also something to smell as well. It can be quite comforting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Good. Okay. Well, Gemma, thank you for that awesome intro. My second question here is, what need did you see in the market that informed you to make the decision to start that specific business?
So initially, for the past decade, about 11 years now, I've been creating like handmade sewn items, and I've been making quilts from baby clothing, but in more of like a bespoke style, so really detailed. You know, it's when you think of a quilt, it's what a quilt is, kind of thing. But they can cost like upwards of $1,000. And to be honest with you, the amount of customers that I had contact me and say, do you know what, I love them, but I just can't afford it. And so it kind of just, it was in the pandemic, me and my husband was like, right, there must be a way of creating these quicker, more efficiently, and so that we can offer them cheaper. And so that's where we sort of started thinking, and then we came up with this whole process of serging. So they're more blankets over quilts. So which is more, to be fair, is more of a modern take on the quilt anyway. I mean, I have a lot of university students that have got them, and they don't want a quilt that looks like the grandma's made it. They want this blanket. I'm a blanket girl. Like, I prefer blankets over quilts any day. Like, I have got blankets everywhere in my house.
Yeah.
So we kind of come up with this process, did the research, made sure that they were super affordable. That's basically how we kind of pivoted into this, and that's how we came out with the idea, really, and started Revive the Tea. So that's in 2019.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just to basically bring in more affordable product to the Canadian market.
Absolutely. So you're still pretty new. You're pretty much a startup still, because we still had to go through the pandemic, right? So this might be an easy question for you. For other entrepreneurs out there, what was the major challenge you encountered within your first year, and the things that you did to solve it? So
obviously getting the word out there in any kind of business is really difficult, but I feel like I kind of had a bit of an advantage because everyone was spending time at home, and so I kind of just tackled it from the point, hey, you're spending more time at home, go sort out your closet. I just used it to my advantage, really. And I wrote a couple of blog posts. I did a couple of infographics to send out to my email list, like showing people this is how you sort out your closet. Like, I went through, you sort it, the minted piles for this, and this is how you decide what to take out. So for me, the pandemic didn't affect me starting up or anything. Like, it was to my advantage, really, because like I said, I could tap into the people staying at home and saying, hey, you're there, go clean your closet.
Absolutely. Yeah, everyone was going through their stuff at that point anyway.
Yeah, and the nice thing about my business, it's all mail order, really, I guess. People, there's no my Calgary customers do come and drop off, but even in the pandemic, they could just leave it on the doorstep, and then I would go out and grab it. Everything's done via mail, so it didn't really affect me, to be honest with you. I was lucky.
Yeah, and that's great, because anyone could mail their shirts into you, and then you could just do it and then mail it back. It wouldn't be any extra. Yeah, that's fantastic. So was there a struggle that you had?
I think the only struggle is getting the word out there. When I built my initial business, my memory quilt business, Gemma Stitches, it was at a time 11 years ago where you could just post anywhere on Facebook. Everyone would see it. There was no admin police saying you can't write that here and all this kind of stuff. And it was really easy. Whereas this time round, what you couldn't just read, because I find Facebook is a really great resource to get the word out there. So I had to look at it at a different point of view. Like, I set up a website, I made sure that I had all my SEO down pat. Obviously, that's an ongoing thing. I just kind of, I paid for Facebook advertising and learned how to do all of that. I still continue to pay for Facebook advertising. I've just really used social media as much as I can, to my advantage. And then I've done stuff like thinking out of the box, like contacting influencers, those kind of people as well. So the challenge has been getting the word out there.
Right. So you just changed it from more word by mouth to word by advertising on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff. Okay, cool.
Awesome. I would say it's probably more pivoting into word through mouth now, because obviously I have this huge customer base, and I get a random one the other month where my main customer base is in Ontario, and I had a customer order some blankets from there, and then I had another customer contact me saying, I really like 4 blankets made. I got referred by my cousin. She lives in Ontario. So, okay. She said, I'm in Calgary though. She said, I'm in Crestmont, which is literally 5 minutes up the road. So from Ontario, they referred someone that's actually 5 minutes. So Calgary's big as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, the power of word of mouth is crazy.
Absolutely, which is fantastic, because that really brings the point where you can do it anywhere. You can do it in Ontario, you can do it, Manitoba, Calgary, obviously, because you're there. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Good. So Revive the Tea. Do you ever get anyone that is confused about what that means? They think, can you get me some t-shirts and put some logos on it instead of the blanket part? Or
no, not really. Not really. I guess because not
once they go to your
really.
site, then they know.
I think the only confusion I ever get is people thinking that I just go and buy random t-shirts and make them into blankets.
Okay.
Like that's the only confusion that I ever really find. But like revive the tea, like quite often, again through my social media, like quite often I touch on like revive the tea means you know reviving a t-shirt, bringing t-shirt back to life in a new form.
That's okay. He's doing his job, making sure you're notified.
It's one of my seamstresses just turned up. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, question 4 for you: what is the most rewarding part for your business?
I think the most rewarding part is the customers which are purchasing blankets to honor like a lost loved one, like the photos I get sent, the the review emails that I get sent back. Like it honestly just chokes you up. Like to know that you've had that much of an impact on somebody. It's like actually another Ontario customer. I made 10 blankets about 2 weeks ago. I think they'd lost their father. It was her father-in-law, and she'd ordered these blankets for all of like the children and the grandchildren, and like she sent this whole story about how he had a thing about dress shirts because it's all made of dress shirts, and he was going to go into a new apartment or something like that, and they'd picked this one apartment that had massive closet space to put all of these dress shirts in because that was his thing. And sadly, he didn't make it to that point. He passed away before that. So to make these quilts or these blankets from those shirts, like it meant the world to them all. And getting reviews back like that, it just really, really chokes you up. It really does.
Absolutely. Especially you're giving someone that memory back, right?
Yeah.
Of that person. Because what else do you do with their clothes, and how long do you hold on to them? And
no, exactly that. Yeah. Like you just what do you do with their stuff? Like it's really,
and you're right. There is a smell. There's a smell to a person, right? And
totally.
you get to hold on to that even longer with a blanket. So that's
exactly.
quite amazing.
Yeah.
Very
that's
cool.
The best part, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what service do you offer that you get the most response to? Maybe this is only one, but because it is one product that you create. But is there like a specific thing that people ask for when they're looking for their blanket to be made?
Don't know. I mean, our most popular request is for the it's a small blanket, which is 4x6, which takes 24 panels. I think the only thing I get asked pretty much every day is, can you use hockey jerseys? Because obviously Canada being a huge hockey fans, I make so many hockey quilts. So yeah, I'd say that's the most popular, like around that small size and made from hockey shirts. So
amazing.
Yeah, but I also offer like single shirt memory cushions as well.
Okay, cool.
So if someone's just got one shirt that they want turned into a cushion, then I could do that. And then I also now have an online course which teaches other people how to make memory quilts. So my original bespoke design, the ones which were pretty pricey, I spent the good part of 6 to 8 weeks, I think a couple of months ago, like really creating this super detailed course, which is now available on my website as well.
Fantastic.
So I think I have something like 28 students at the moment. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's quite good.
Yeah,
so
congratulations.
Well, yeah, thank you. It's labor of love, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
I didn't quite, because you're just automatically doing things. You don't quite realize how much is involved in doing something like this.
Yeah.
Because the way I work as well, I don't I know a lot of quilters which will sit there and design every little bit on paper before I actually do it, but I don't. I let the clothes do the talking. So I have this weird way of doing stuff, which actually now I've written down the course, is like, it is quite straightforward, but there's just a lot of parts to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't know what you're getting either, right? Like you don't know
exactly.
what's gonna go with each other.
No, so it's impossible to kind of design. I mean, some, like I said, a lot of people I've seen like do it in certain patterns and stuff, but I don't. Like mine just look like a big jigsaw puzzle, but they come out so like everyone's so unique in that because of that. But yeah, so I think I've got 28 students at the moment going through my course, and so far so good. No complaints. So I've done it okay. Like I did video instructions, I did graphic instructions and written instructions. So I covered because obviously everybody learns differently, don't they? So like I like to watch videos, but others like to read. So I made sure that I covered all angles.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is so good. Okay, so this is just your closer, and I just want you to let everybody know how they can get a hold of you, what the best ways are to reach out to you, and what you would need from them or expect from them to be able to complete a blanket for them.
Yeah, sure. So my website is www.revivethet.ca. And you can on there, there's a little contact us button, or there's also a live chat, which I'm typically able to reply quite quickly to. And also my Instagram, which is at revive_the_tea. Facebook, Revive the Tea, /Revive the Tea. I am on TikTok as well, but I'm hesitant to provide that because it's embarrassing, some of the videos I post there. And yeah, so those are about the main places to contact me. So if somebody wants to order a blanket, and if you go onto the website, it shows you all of the sizes. We have 6 different sizes available. We also have our big one, which is bigger squares, and we have hybrids, which kind of mix the two, smaller and bigger squares. And then the baby toddler blankets as well. So it's just a case of going into your closet, counting how many shirts you want to include, heading to the website and picking which one is most appropriate, and ordering online. I send you out an email that shows you how to prep your shirts, and then an address to mail it to. And then in around this time of the year, it's a little bit longer, but typically around 2 to 3 weeks, we have it created and sent back to you.
Awesome.
So, and our prices all include shipping, return shipping. So that's great. That's like a saving of at least $25.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic, because if they want something for Christmas, they can get it now, as long as they get it in before a certain time and before certain people.
That's it. But my cut-off day, I think, the 20th of November, but to make sure that I have it sent, created and sent back in time for the cut-off on the Christmas deadline with Canada Post.
Okay, so
we are ramping up right now. Like the turnaround is more around 4 to 5 weeks. We had quite a number. I think I've got 39 down there. I had a count this morning, actually. 39 to create right now. So yeah, but we'll get it done.
So get it in quick.
Doing it, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, good. Well, thank you for your time, and